All right, we got another question here. I like this. This is going to be a fun conversation. It says, hey, Jay and Sheldon, I produce sermon clips for my pastor.
Uh-oh.
But I'm struggling to capture his voice. I'll spend hours cutting something I think is perfect.
My.
He's back with 10 changes.
10.
Now, 10 feels a little
10,
expensive.
yeah, that's a lot.
It's deflating. How do I find his rhythm and vision without losing mine? And how do I stop taking the feedback? So personal. This question.
That was good.
So close to home.
So close to home.
They must have known. They must have known
Yeah.
who they were asking this question.
100%. This was
like,
targeted. This
yeah,
was a
definitely
targeted question.
100% targeted
Yeah.
question. I think you and I, and I'm gonna let you tell the people about your version, but you and I we just have very close experiences to this very thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so why do you have such close experience? Because everybody doesn't know you. You're a big deal, but not everyone knows you.
I keep that private.
Okay,
Man.
good idea.
I've been grateful and blessed to kind of be in this situation in these rooms with these pastors and been able to create translating as them for a lot of the viral moments that a lot of people still see to this day for like the past 5 to 6 years. So I definitely understand the place and the position you're in with the feedback and the going back and forth and all of it that comes when it comes down to sermon capturing and creating and editing. So it hits home for me. So I feel it. I feel it a lot.
Yeah, I know.
And yeah.
And I think you're being really modest, but yeah, if you are in the Christian creative space, the church creative space, you have seen Jay's work. I didn't just say it arrogantly. You've seen it. You don't know you see it because it's not about him at all. And that's kind of, even as he just answered, it's not about him at all. But you guys found the perfect person to ask this question to. So I'm really happy to hear. I'm really excited to hear your take on a lot of this, because I'm not on that side. I'm on the other side where, as an executive pastor, I've had to be the sort of bridge between the senior pastor's idea, thought, execution, or desire, and this, team of creatives who are trying to execute on his behalf. Sometimes involving myself actively to bring it about, and oftentimes evacuating myself out of it so that they can have a one-to-one conversation. Because I think, especially as a fellow creative, the worst thing, which they're not asking you this question at all, is to have a middleman when you're trying to make something for someone else. So as a creative, I'm always like, pastor, you know what you want better than I do.
Yeah.
Here's a creative who can execute it better than I do. This is a great space. So I'm talking to all you middle seat leaders, second chair leaders. It's a great place to say, let me put y'all in the room together. I'm going to be present. I'm going to be a part of it, but I'm not going to be in,
I don't want to be in there.
Let me just slide back. Okay. So you and I talked about this question before we started recording, but I think what we've done is we kind of condensed down like a list of things we would do.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll go first.
Go.
So, okay, if you are struggling to interpret and you're getting a lot of edits, I think your first obligation. Now, let me just phrase this whole response first, because those of you who are creatives but you don't work in church, if you're creating on behalf of someone else, which almost every paid creative is doing, unless they're exclusively doing their own content, these are all applicable to you. Like, you need to do these things
100%.
No matter if you're working for a pastor or CEO or another influencer or Netflix, right? Like, you need to know these habits, because I think they make great partnership as a creative, and all creatives need to be great partners. Okay, so here's my first one. My first one is I would say to you, you need to study him or your subject like a series. Like, you need to binge watch and
100%,
listen.
100%.
Every great communicator has a set of communication skills that they go back to over and over and over and over and over and over again. The best communicators, you don't feel it's so repetitive because they have so many of them. But even a medium quality communicator, all the way up to the most excellent, you will notice a pattern in their voice. They know that pattern in their voice, and they're looking for you to pick up on it. How do you notice that pattern? You consume their content, right? So I like to say that you can't only learn a person's communication style through one medium, though, right? So it's easy to scroll through their timeline and listen to their clips, but if you really want to learn their communication style, read their writing, like their actual writing, like
Yeah.
website, whatever, but also read or also listen to them in long form, because then you're getting three different versions of what they care for.
Yeah.
Short form, quick, snappy, high level, like thought provoking. Written is much more methodical. It's much slower pace. They're much more deliberate with their words, so you're learning their deliberation ability.
Yeah.
And then on their long form, you're getting to see how they expound an idea over time.
Yep.
So I would say consume them like a series. That's my first one.
I agree. I agree to all those things. I think the best benefit of creators being in these situations is that you're always with this communicator.
Yes.
You spend hours of your day with them all the time. If you're on the road, if you're traveling, if you're at these events, if you're in ministry, you're on the road with these leaders, these communicators, these pastors. And that is just the best door anyone can open for you to be able to learn how someone processes communication. I tell leaders all the time, it's going to take me like 2 to 3 months, honestly, coming in to learn your voice, how you operate. If you mess up words in your sermon, I'm going to mess up words for you in the caption on your post, because people love true authenticity. And that's why I love why this hits so close to home, because I've been in these situations, and it's that as an editor, it's not our job to just edit the content. We're translating someone's voice digitally.
Wow, that's great.
For an example, I've got, like you mentioned, I got to work with some of the greatest communicators to this day. And if I didn't kind of replicate their communication style digitally, it begins to create another image of this person who people aren't really familiar with.
That's really good.
Yeah.
So you're saying, this is really good. Stay here for a second. So you're saying, as the editor, you have the ability, both good and bad, to create an image that is not real.
Absolutely.
That's powerful.
Absolutely. I'm in control.
Yeah.
I'm in control of their voice digitally. If I'm posting a social clip, if I'm writing a caption, if I'm responding to someone in a DM, if I'm sending an email, if that communication piece has their name at the end of it, that's what people will see them as.
That's great.
But
that's great.
It may be me.
Yeah.
It may be, my boss who's like handing down this information. Like it may be whatever situation you're in. But I think, like I mentioned, the benefit of being with these communicators is that all of them have a cadence, a tone, and a heartbeat that they kind of produce wherever they are, whether it's on a platform, whether it's on a live call. Like all of them have that cadence. And I think the more you study their flow, the more you start editing into their rhythm of communication, not yours.
So good. All right. What else would you tell this person?
Just hone in on what, on who this person is.
List we made.
I was. I kind of
going to stay here.
I drift. I love the voice.
Got it.
I love communicating as other people, but I love the learning physique of it. I love getting to learn hundreds of different styles of communications and communication styles from the communicators.
Okay, so wait. Can I just get into your brain for
go for it. Go.
Minutes? So
pause.
When you're there, you got this is someone either you're new to or right?
Yep.
Or of, right? You've heard their voice before. You kind of are familiar with their, I don't want to call it shtick, but their personality type on the internet.
Yeah.
How do you get, so you know what you know about them, but they know what they know about them.
Yep.
How are you fact checking? Like, you're not like calling them and saying, I think you're these 4 things. Like, because that could get really reductionist.
Absolutely.
Like, I'm not that simple.
Yep.
How are you, I'm thinking about, I know the guys you've worked for and girls you've worked for. Like, are you calling them? Are you presenting it and explaining it? Because even that gets old really fast. Like, if every time I show you my art, I have to like give you 6 paragraphs of explaining.
To answer that, like I mentioned, the benefit of being with these communicators is that you're in the room, you're learning their styles. And I think as the editor, to help the consumer is develop 3 pillars of content.
That's right.
For an example, you have pastors who love the marketplace, which is like coaching and leadership and training outside of their church. And you also have pastors who love who should love their family and spend time with them all the time.
Uh-oh.
But that's another topic.
Okay.
Most people in audiences and congregations, they don't know their communicator outside of the pulpit.
That's great.
So my thing is, when I go and meet with these people, we develop their life into 3 content pillars. You have a window, which is being able to see through their life, their family, if they have kids, if they have a dog, what they eat on the weekend, if they're working out. The pulpit is anything related to their church. If they're doing sermons, team development, staff leadership, all these sessions are a part of the pulpit. And then the billboard, the marketplace ministry, if they're doing coaching, if they're doing traveling, all these things like that, all those go into the 3 content pillars. This is how we develop their brand and their strategy. So they're familiar with what they like to do. I'm just putting them into boxes to where it makes it easier for me to communicate them digitally.
Okay, let me recap that. So you're giving them a window. This is a glance inside of their life. You're giving them the pulpit, which is the view of them working in the thing you think they're the most, astute at, or the thing they're most known for. For pastors, it's probably pastoring and preaching and communicating from the platform. And then you're giving them a billboard, which is the extra thing they do or want to do. Yeah, that's powerful. That helps simplify the conversation.
The thing that people don't like, a lot of people don't love that pastors are in the ministry the marketplace ministry context.
Sure.
They wear nice clothes, they drive nice cars, they do nice things, and they all think it comes from the pulpit.
Oh my gosh. My God, my pastor has a job.
Yeah, my pastor does things outside of Sunday. But
I think and you know this as well as I do, like not all pastors' billboards are business pursuits, right?
Yeah.
Some billboards, there's a pastor that I love, his billboard is emotional health.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and he doesn't have necessarily a degree in emotional health, but boy, I guess he's wrestled with his own enough that he can talk about that thing on a pretty doctoral level. Yeah. And so you get a window into his life with his family and his kids and all that stuff. You get obviously his pulpit and his messages, which he doesn't preach emotional health every Sunday. He's preaching Jesus like he should be. And then thirdly, you get this huge mental health like persona that, he's walking through and helping other people walk through and all that stuff. And so I think the billboard, while I think it's healthy for, pastors to absolutely make money outside of the church. That's not weird at all. Let's not be those people. The billboard you're saying doesn't always have to be about business. It could be about whatever they're really passionate about. That is not the pulpit.
100%. What you're explaining, I would put in an intelligence category. Right. Relational, emotional, physical. That would land there.
It's really, really good. I love this conversation.
Yeah. Well, all of it, I think all of it kind of funnels into a voice guide. These are things you write down about these people, their favorite actions, their favorite things to do. It all falls into a guide as long as it's portrayed and sent out correctly and it ties to who these people are. I think you're going to win in the long run. But like I said, for me, that's a 2 to 3 month process.
It's really good. Okay, so here's one for me that I experienced being the middleman a lot, and that is the power of pre-agreement. So I think when it comes to sermon clips specifically, which those of you who are in church creative, especially on a Sunday to Sunday basis, the sermon clip is like the currency of the Instagram. It's a big deal. Most pastors want to show up strong, looking astute and studied and entertaining and all this stuff.
It's one of the gateways for people to know this ministry outside of physically being here on a Sunday.
Agreed. I think if you have like you would describe this massive key to their entire persona, I think pre-conversations are healthy, right?
Yeah.
So don't scurry out of the service as soon as it's over and start cutting. Like have a 5-minute, 7-minute. So what I loved, one pastor I worked for, he would call the editor and the social media manager into his office right after service while the message was hot in his head. And they would literally just talk through it. Hey, that would be a good moment. That was a good moment. Hey, I really want them to know that, God is for them this week, whatever. Can you make that into a clip? So then when I go to cut, I'm not just arbitrarily picking things and wasting my time.
No.
There is some value in the pre-agreement. And I think to you asking the question, I would ask for that. Hey, can we meet for 5-10 minutes? And if they're the type of leader who doesn't have the bandwidth or even the language to do that kind of communication, meet for those same 5 to 10 minutes, but propose force. Come in ready. Hey, first of all, be in service and listen to the message. Let's just
100%.
Start there.
100%.
Chat can't save you here because it just
absolutely
happened.
not.
It cannot save you. But use your notes to say, hey, this part here fits really nice into your window. This part here fits really nicely into your billboard. Or this part here is great, like theological content, or would start a great conversation on the internet if you want to have that conversation. But also, regardless of whatever side the communicator lands on, come to the meeting prepared, ready to talk, right? Not just, okay, tell me what you want me to cut, because no one wants a type of creative partnership where they're the only person
100%.
Pulling, right?
Yep.
Okay, what else you got?
I think to add to that, there is Now, because of a lot of the situations I'm in, I can't always be in those rooms after. I think the lovely thing about content editing and being a creator is that you kind of maximize these moments that you're in. Like for me, I'm working with 4 to 5 of these communicators on a Sunday across the world. And I think one of the most helpful things is that I get their manuscript before Sunday. Like I know what they're going to talk about. I know everything in red. You know, I know the points they're going to hit. And I think developing, like you mentioned, a proposal going into there, but you already know what they're going to talk about will help that situation in the long run too. Yeah. You're going to know what to pull for graphics. You're going to know the spicy takes. You're going to know what's going to hit on social media without having, to sit through 4 or 5 services. If that, God bless you if you're in 4 to 5 services.
You're working for.
But definitely taking, like for me, I'm in a 3 service workflow right now. I watch the first, I sit through the second, and I edit on the third. So all the content is prepared before the service is over. It's just another benefit of being in proximity to these amazing communicators.
It's really, really good. What's another tip you'd give to this person who's struggling to master their pastor's voice?
One of the biggest things, and they kind of asked it in the question, is feedback. Mm-hmm. We have to not take feedback so personally. I think in the editing role, as you are communicating for a communicator, you cannot have so much pushback.
That tour was so strong
on the feedback.
Good. Keep going.
This is their voice.
Yeah.
You're in control of developing and pushing out how they sound. Your job is not to come in and change them. Your job is to come in and make it easier for them to not have to worry about all the physicalities and areas where they can be communicating. Your job is to come in and kind of alleviate that pain off of them. So take their feedback with all the help. Yeah. And like this is them. This is what they've built for X amount of years. You coming in is not gonna change the way they're thinking like instantly. So
I've been a fly on the wall, and I'm having such like vivid flashback right now. I've been in a room, green room, after a service. The editor's there, the leader's there, the communicator's there, and they're having this conversation. And I could see the editor slowly just inwardly
backing off
into themselves because, and hear me, the conversation is cordial, it's kind, it's great. Hey, I want more of this. I'd like to see more of this. Can you make sure that this is in there? And then, they'll offer like, well, what if, and it's like, no, I don't want to do that. I want to, I really want to feel like this, this, and this. And I've never done it. And one day I'm going to do it, but I'm going to say, this isn't your platform. Like, so even in the person's question asking this is like, hey, how do I find his rhythm and vision without losing mine? Yours isn't actually
relevant.
Matter.
It's not relevant here.
And it's hard to talk to somebody like that because, we're creatives. We lead with our hearts and we do this because we genuinely love the vision and the mission and the outcome of what we're doing. But at the end of the day, when you're creating on behalf of someone, especially if it's paid, your job is to do their job.
I'm about to put my feet up.
Like, I'm get comfortable with that because this is like, I think, hear me, and I'm not beating up on creators. I love us. I think we are the culture. Creativity runs the world. However, you said it, far too much emotion, far too much feeling when you are being asked or even volunteering to do a job to create on behalf of someone else. I think your primary obligation is to let them shape it and then you to come and make it better.
Absolutely.
But it's not by any means for you to define or decide what works for them.
100%.
And then kind of do this reverse psychology of, you're triggering me. You're not allowing me to be a creative. It's like, no, like that can't, two things can't, there can't be two ideas here. It's got to eventually, it's my face, it's my voice, it's my family.
Absolutely.
Like, and you need to be able to take that feedback, with the appropriate grain of salt. I say this to leaders all the time. You've heard me say this. Your ability to handle feedback is directly correlated to the ability in which you will grow.
Yep.
And so if you can walk into the room, master the feedback, deliver the product, and still get along fine, you're the person I'm calling for every job.
Yeah.
Like, because that's the kind of person I want to work with.
And I love this. I could talk about this forever. I love this question. Like I said, it hits home so well. I've been in those situations where it got really frustrating. It's like, bro, like, you hired me. Like, let me do what I do.
Yeah.
But it's like, what am I doing if I don't know who I'm doing it for? It's like,
Bro.
what
Bro.
am I doing? Like,
Bro.
this is
So
it.
every pastor, y'all have to send this to your creators, and y'all can tip his Cash App is in the show notes.
It's right here below. I'm gonna edit it in. But man,
Crazy.
pastors aren't critiquing you. This is he's refining his own message.
Yeah,
Your job is to deliver it.
Legitimately,
That's
so good.
Yeah, our job is not to translate our own. Our job is to translate their intent, not defend our edit.
Bro, you got to slow down. Our job is to translate their intent, not to defend our edit. Yeah, that's so good. All right, two more practical things that this person can do to help them out. What do you got?
Whew. I keep going back to this benefit word. The best thing in these situations is to always ask. A lot of creators will get in these rooms and kind of just hang on the wall and just kind of observe. But like I said, we are communicating on behalf of however many followers and engagement and whatever they may have. Ask a question. Ask something that'll make your job in life and process a little bit easier.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Stop being quiet in these spaces.
Mm-hmm.
Don't revert to the quiet creative. At all.
It won't help.
No.
It'll be a guessing game.
Yeah.
That's why I mentioned these 2 to 3 months for me personally this is the time I do that. This is the time to get frustrated. This is the time to ask these questions. Yeah. And my thing, and you can take this if you want, my question going into these rooms is, what's one thing that will help in this editing process or even some of these clips feel more like you?
It's great. What one thing would make this feel more like you?
Yeah.
That's such a great question.
Yeah.
Because that's the ultimate goal, right? Is I don't want to be on the internet, not myself.
No.
That's really, really good.
Who is this guy? It'll be the quickest post pulled down in history.
Oh, baby. You mean pastors delete their posts?
They delete their posts, bro.
They don't delete their posts.
I'm gonna move on.
They
delete their posts, bro.
I love this. They just like delete.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah, and then you go back and it's like, yeah, why'd you do this? We lost this engagement here and this and that. It's like, bro, like I mentioned, we're not defending our creativity. It's like, bro, who did this help?
Yeah.
Who did this reach? Yeah. You got likes, man. I'm here. This is souls when you're in this space. Like,
absolutely. Yeah,
like, what is this reverting to? Like, who is this helping? So
I think
that's the thing.
At the end of the day is when you communicate at frequency, at scale, right? I'm not talking about the size of the church. I'm talking about just the frequency in which, think about it. You're preaching every week. You're probably doing a Bible study and you're on the internet and you have a wife and you have kids and you have friends. Your words carry lots of different weights.
Yep.
And it is impossible, even as an editor who's with you a lot or an executive pastor who's with you a lot, to know the weight of all of those words. So what may seem like a completely innocuous, harmless joke that I added or that I inserted into your clip, in another room that you walk into as a human being or as a dad, like you for instance, true story, posted a clip once, the pastor was making fun of his kid's soccer team. Right? It was hilarious. Like the church was in hysterics, talking about how these little midgets, like how parents are outside yelling at the kids, treating them like they're, going to win the championship. But these kids are, 3 feet tall and they're horrible and it's just a waste of his time. But he goes and does it anyway. We put it in the clip. Obviously, he said it much more eloquent than me, but that was basically the gist of it. Is I wasted my time at my kids' game, but I loved it. And you should love your kids too. We posted it. He deleted it 2 days later. We're all like, whoa, it was doing great. Like, the internet was laughing at it, soccer ball emojis, whatever.
Yeah.
And he said, I went to my kid's soccer practice and parents saw that.
Yeah.
It was not honoring to them. And before it became a conversation, and at the soccer field, I deleted it because I knew that had they heard me say that, it would have changed the dynamic of this space. And so, even to your point, so I'm not calling you to ask why I deleted it. I'm assuming there's a reason, but then I'm interrogating, hey, what did you think? What happened? And then when you find out that there's a whole humanity behind behind the communicator, it softens your idea of your edit way up because it's not always about your edit. Yeah. Sometimes it is about, well, my wife thought that was inappropriate, or that made my kid feel a certain way, or I don't like the way I reference my parents in that one statement. And those are all real things in the mind of the communicator. And watch this. it is not their responsibility to explain it to you.
No.
It's your responsibility to help them manage it.
Yep.
Right.
100%.
And so you may not never know the full extent. My pastor was gracious to explain it to me.
Yep.
But at the time it was like, nah, delete it. It's cool. Like, we'll find
Pull
something else. Like,
Yeah.
it's cool. It's not a big of a deal.
Or
And I
flip
do
it.
it emotionally.
Yeah.
Or re-edit it.
Re-edit it.
Re-edit.
Pull it. There's a way, like the emotional intelligence that creators, we use different lenses all the time. It's okay to also use that abbreviation or kind of line in your editing process as well. We think through a bunch of different lenses, and that clip could have easily been seen in a horrible way, or it could have been flipped to, hey, I'm at my kid's soccer game, and this is what I do outside of the platform. And
not
it turns into
funny.
Not quite as funny,
not as funny,
but it turns into a loving moment to where people are more engaged with the emotional intelligence of a person they only get to see on Sundays.
That's absolutely so good. Okay, final thought. What would you say to this person? Last final encouragement to them.
I would say you have to shift from impressing to expressing. Like I mentioned, the benefit of being in proximity to great communicators is that you learn their posture, their voice, their tone. And if that doesn't reflect the outcome or the production of what you produce daily, then you'll get mixed messaging.
Ooh,
you have to stop trying to wow these communicators. They just want to be heard.